Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Clone Wars Season 6, Episode 1, The Unknown. The end of the last season was intense. It was world-changing, and while I knew, obviously, Ahsoka wasn't going to get to, be with Anakin and be with the Jedi forever, because obviously things are going to go very wrong in that front, I didn't expect it to happen like that so soon. And yeah, it's going to be a very different show without Anakin having his Padawan, because in the movie that starts everything, he gets his Padawan, and she's been part of the Clone Wars ever since. Obviously, we've had arcs without them, but yeah, that's going to be weird. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. Let's go. Thank you for watching. Let's go.
Anakin Skywalker valiantly leads his men against the onslaught.
Without his Padawan. I know he doesn't always have her at his side anyway, but at least in a weird way, when they joined the Jedi Order, they kept some family with them. God, the time these Jedi have left to live is getting shorter and shorter. Ooh, I love the teamwork. I love the well-worn strategies, well-earned and practiced and...
Come on, this is a textbook battle. We've run through this a million times before in training.
Is he okay, though?
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm fine.
What is the matter with him?
Don't want to be left behind.
I'm concerned. I love this. Thank God the droids are terrible shooters. Oh, not as terrible as they could be. Oh. He's not okay. He should be allowed to fall back. You know, if you're not at your best, if you're not doing okay, you need to take a beat.
Good soldiers follow orders.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Is he being brainwashed somehow? My brain, I'm so stupid, of course, like Order 66. Or is he just reaching the point where he thinks the Jedi are forcing them into the war? Because it's more the Republic than the Jedi. Bloody hell. And I was just saying how nice it was that they got to keep some family. We all do. Order 66.
It seemed as if the clone could not help himself. As if he was entranced.
He's not himself. He's not in control of himself. Though I understand her rage right now, but we need to find whoever did this, because it wasn't him. Not at its core. I love the concern the brothers have. Oh, of course. Fuck. My brain. I'm so stupid. Of course. Like Order 66. All of the clones are brainwashed to, on an order, just massacre the Jedi, whether that Jedi is their best friend or not. I am beyond slow. I am sorry. My only excuse is that it is 2 AM. Though I'm not that tired, which is why I'm reacting. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry it took me that long to put 2 and 2 together with the brainwashing. Of course he's brainwashed. It's just, it's had some side effects of some kind. My god, if that is the case, which it kind of has to be with what they were saying, can you believe we were this close to stopping it?
I could never.
Tub, you did.
I don't understand. How could this happen? What's happening?
It just goes against everything they are, and that's what makes Order 66 even worse. That it's not like all this time they've been in married like, haha, I'm gonna kill you one day. It's just...
We were designed to withstand any stress.
But you're still human.
We aren't equipped for this type of situation. You'll have to be taken back to Camino. Only then will you have your answer.
But that's where they brainwashed him in the first place. I'm sorry.
They'll fix you up real good. We'll be having a drink together in no time.
They're just... They deserve a real life.
5, 4. Oh, wait. Scanners indicate incoming craft.
What? Holy shit. Is this like, does Palpatine not want them to get to Camino? Do the Camino people not know that they've been brainwashing the clones? Oh, those monsters. Fucking hell. I hate the way they giggle. Like a horror movie. Bloody hell. So is it their goal to just eliminate the faulty guy before anyone, the faulty man, before anybody can figure out what it was? Because they just assume that the Separatists saw that happen and want to figure out why and if they can use it. That was brutally effective.
Get him on the next shuttle out of here. But the Republic blockade. See to it personally, Commander.
It's like, okay, great, because you've told me to accomplish the impossible task, it'll get done. Of course, naturally. This is just yet another reminder of how close we are to the end of everything as the Clone Wars knows it. I know this was done by Netflix or on Netflix after it was initially cancelled or something like that. I don't know if I'm just imagining a slightly different feel to it. Like, you can kind of tell that things are being done differently, or whether it's more just the scale of everything is just getting bigger because we're well and truly through, like, midway through the end game. Well, this is gonna be really easy.
Grappling gun. Good thinking. Get ready to hold on.
Oh.
Why he's the Arc Trooper.
We're going for a ride. I know that those will be super strong, but they just look like suction cups that would fall off at the slightest inconvenience. I love Roger Rogers. They're like, oh, my scanner's playing up. It thinks there's some people on the hull.
You were experiencing drag in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, strange. It's gone now.
Oh well, all's well. It's not a fair fight, really, is it? Oh, fuck. Like, the fighting feels more intense to me, but I don't know if that's just because, you know, it's a season premiere, so they're going big.
What's going on?
Bless the Rogers.
This clone.
Permission to come with you, sir. He's my best friend.
Stay safe, my
You may
darling.
need help. Yes, sir. Good. Let's go.
Fives.
Good luck, boys.
Thankfully that was a more successful escape. Okay, we are like really in the beginning of the end, or really in the middle of the end. You know, the beginning, the first signs of Order 66 and all that's to come are in play. The fact that the clones are going to lose any autonomy they had. I mean, they didn't exactly have all that much because they didn't have any choice about, like, serving in the army. You know, if they were lucky they might become a medic or whatever, but they didn't have a choice about how to live their lives. But they're kind of reaching the point of absolutely no autonomy whatsoever, where they're just going to be told to slaughter everybody. And, you know, after that point, did they all just die? Is that why stormtroopers weren't clones? I know they could have just grown a whole new batch, but they didn't, I believe. Did they kind of, if he is dying, is it sort of once Order 66 is triggered, they'll go mentally unstable because they've just suddenly murdered people that they were once close to, because that would mess you up, being mind-altered like that, and having every single brother you have being mind-altered like that, having everything ripped out from under you, the people you were once fighting, you're now serving, you know, it would screw you up. Or are they just fully brainwashed and controlled into a good soldier, follows orders, and if it's done properly, they'll just be like, oh well, you know, we killed an enemy, what's next? Kind of, I don't know. I imagine somewhere in the world of this universe we will discover that, but I do wonder. And seeing, as always, the care these clones have for each other. You know, they love each other, whether it is a clone that they have never met before in their life. When they see them dead or run into them, that bond is there. Now, there will still be rivalries and personality clashes and all sorts of things like that, but on an instinctive level, they are brothers. They all know what their young lives are like, and then what the rest of their lives are like, what they're fighting for, the fact that they don't have choices, but that they view it as an honour to serve and everything like that. And, you know, a character like Fives, who we first met forever ago, seeing how much he's been through, how many comrades and brothers he's lost along the way, to just see someone you love lose themselves like that, like, you know he's not secretly harbouring anti-Jedi conspiracies, you know he would never suddenly just murder a Jedi, but you see him do it, you see him, you know, repeating this phrase and not responsive. It's just awful. And the fact that we're having this happen, it's so frustrating because it's like if things go differently to how they're obviously going to go, Order 66 could have been uncovered beforehand and everything could have been different. You know, I mean, maybe all that would have happened would have been that some more Jedi would have had time to escape because they'd have known it was happening and then Palpatine would have issued it, etc. Obviously, it wouldn't have been like happily ever after, but things would have been so different had they been able to uncover just what was going on. But I imagine Palpatine was prepared for a lot of eventualities, including a clone kind of getting hit on the head or hearing the trigger word or whatever happened a little soon. I'm scared about what he might do, most especially because Fives is around. And yeah, I love Anakin's care for the clones. It's one of the things that I think makes me the saddest about his character arc. The fact that he becomes Darth Vader is that from when he was a little boy, you truly do see his capacity for love and compassion and goodness, and it is that gets twisted to turn him into Darth Vader, and it's just so upsetting whenever I think of Anakin becoming that. You know, yeah, it's nice to think that ultimately he's able to be like, actually, I don't want my son to die or become a bad guy, I'm gonna, you know, fight Palpatine many years later, but just kind of, he really is manipulated and abused and groomed ever so slowly by Palpatine, and obviously the Jedi don't do very much to that. They don't notice any of the red flags, and they have old-fashioned ways, and they don't do things that could help him. Obviously their mistakes help Palpatine, but it's just so crushing to see his character fall in that way, and it really helps kind of we feel the similar sort of crushing feeling in that way that Obi-Wan must feel, and Ahsoka, and anybody that survives long enough to know it's happened. So yeah, this is pretty brutal. I think, you know, the warning signs are really going to flare up when Padme gets pregnant. Off the top of my head, I can't remember whether in the movie she tells him she's pregnant and then like 9 months pass, or whether it's like she's about to give birth. Kind of, I feel like in my head, in the third movie, she's just very pregnant, but all the Star Wars movies, some of the like finer points do not stay in my brain. But yeah, we are getting like, we've been in the end game for a while now. I think it was almost the end of season 4 even. I feel like with some of the events there that we kind of, Anakin's doubts about the Jedi Order started to become more prominent, and I felt like we were entering the end game, and we're now like in the middle of it, and I'm stressed. This was a fantastic first episode of season 6. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.